Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a mono-black discard deck for standard best of one. So this deck is focused around eliminating our opponent's threats and having them discard the rest of them and then taking over the game. So we'll get into the list. We start out with 3 Bloodchief's Thirsts, just cheap removal. They can kill planeswalkers. We are a mid-range deck where basically against control you really want to be hitting the hand, and against aggro we want to be really just taking out the battlefield. So Bloodchief's Thirst is really good versatile removal. Cling to Dust, because we have cards that make ourselves discard, like Liliana and Rankle, and discarding Cling to Dust is pretty much free. Also, it's an escape card for the rogue matchup to help empty our yard. We can cycle it pretty much on a non-creature spell. Stay alive against aggro, all in all pretty good. 1 Duress, because even though we're a discard deck, I don't want to be flooding on Duress or top decking Duress in the late game, right? It's one of the problems discard runs into. But on turn 1 or 2, pretty much every deck in the format has non-creature spells that we'd like to hit. Against mono red, they have Embercleave. Against Gruul, Cleave, and Henge, stuff like that. Against rogues, any sort of removal or counter magic. Against control, well, all types of controlling counter magic or removal. So the 1 copy of Duress isn't bad. 2 Serrated Scorpions to stay alive longer against aggro. 1/2 Body is a pretty good blocker. It blocks out the 1/1's Lovestruck Beast creates, Fervent Champion, trades with Fireblade Charger, that type of thing. So pretty solid 1-drop. Also, we're happy to sacrifice it to Village Rites, happy to sacrifice it to Rankle. We don't mind sacrificing it to a Woe Strider to draw a card. It's a good 1-drop to revive with Agadeem's Awakening, so pretty versatile. Pretty good card. The 2 Village Rites, we're not an all-out sacrificey deck, but we do have targets that we don't mind sacrificing. Like I said, the Scorpion for life, the Acquisitions Expert, after we had it discard something, a Shade, kind of like cycling it, if we got it back for free, a Murderous Rider that we played, the Goat from the Woe Strider. So Village Rites has some targets, and it's a form of card advantage in a deck that otherwise doesn't have that much. The Acquisitions Expert, same kind of body as the Scorpion, pretty solid blocker. It's just a strictly better Burglar Rat. It fits right into the mono-black discard theme. For Remorse, our on-theme hand-hate spell, slight nombo is that it puts the cards in exile, whereas the Scavenger wants them in the graveyard, but I still think it's a worthy inclusion. It also can like hit escape cards like the opponent's Clings or Crocs, is the type of thing. Eliminate over Heartless Act, because I'm more worried about Crawling Barrens than I am about bigger creatures. We can always kick Bloodchief's Thirsts. We have Murderous Rider, which to be fair also does take out the Crawling Barrens. This can make them sacrifice their bigger creatures. Once Lily gets going, she can take out bigger creatures. So the 2 eliminates. The 2 Shades, we same logic as the Scorpion. We always want stuff that we can discard. We really never mind discarding a Shade, because just for playing a land we can get it back for free. So pretty good card, helps us close out games. Woe Strider, as another card we never mind discarding. A good escape threat against rogues, gets even bigger, creates a 1/1, sorry. The Embrace, same theme where we don't mind discarding it. It's a way to push through extra damage and close out games, giving the hug to a Woe Strider that we've escaped is a lot of damage. We can give it to a Shade to give it flying and a stat boost. We can give it to an Acquisitions Expert to have it get flying and a stat boost. All in all, I like the 1 copy of Embrace. I wouldn't run any more. 2 Riders, Planeswalker Hate, Creature Hate, and a Lifelinker on the backside. Pretty solid. The Scavenger fits with the discard theme, because if we're making our opponent discard all these cards, then the Scavenger will grow even bigger. And because we're in best of 1, it's a really good threat against aggro, because it's a huge body and it's a lifelinker. On the 4-drops where we cap out, we have 3 Rankle, sorry. Pretty much in every discard deck you want this. It has haste, hits face, can get you more cards, it can make the opponent ditch cards, and it can be a versatile, sneaky form of removal. Liliana, kind of the reason I built this deck, I just want to play with Liliana. +1 can just make everyone discard a card. If it was target opponent discards a card, this would be so much better, but that's why the deck's built the way it is. It's basically built around these 4-drops so that we don't mind. Liliana's +1 is bad. And the burn on the opponent is pretty nice. It can close out games as well. The emblem is pretty rare, but hey, if we get on the battlefield, plus that's a 5 loyalty planeswalker for 4 mana, and then it only takes 2 or 3 other turns after that, so not too bad. The mana base, we have 4 Locthwain, but because we are discarding our own hand or our own cards pretty often and playing out our cheap curve, We typically end up empty-handed, so Lochthwain is a great way to refuel in the late game. 15 Swamps, 2 Barons as a way to pump our mana and close out matches. I love this card, especially in mono black. We don't have any triple black like Ayara, so we're not very punished for running the Barons. If we find one of them and 2 other lands, we can cast everything in our deck, or, I mean, every 3-drop, we need a 4th land, but, you know, 2 black mana, symbols, and we're good to go. 1 Hagra Mauling, just removal spell on a tap land, only tap land in the deck. I don't want to run Pelika's Predation because I think we have better ways of discarding, and by the time we get to casting that, I feel like it's a little bit too late for it anyways. And the 4 Agadeem's Awakenings. These can be more swamps if you don't have them. It's just a way to get back in the game. You can pay 3 or 4 mana to revive a 1, 2, 3, and 4 drop. So that's pretty solid. So yeah, guys, that's the list. If you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video, and consider subscribing. It really motivates me to make more videos. So yeah, deck list will be in the description down below, and let's get into some games. Okay, on the play, fine hand. No discard, but we have a 1, 2, 3. And the the Castle Lochthwain can get us deeper into the deck once we have played out our entire hand. Opponent takes a mulligan, feels good. Look at these Thanksgiving sleeves, or I say Thanksgiving. They got a scorpion tail. I've never seen them, but they're pretty sick. Gotta love the first game on, lag. It'll smooth itself out, guys, don't you worry. And the opponent's on black too. Oh, Eidolon, nice. Okay, so we can eliminate that, or we can Bloodchief's Thirst it. I just think we go for the eliminate. More mana efficient. Stop them from drawing cards. And poke in with the Scorpion. Still a bit of lag, but that's alright. Alright, and if they're mono black auras, then without an Eidolon, that's not exactly great. Okay, so we'll offer the Chump Block if they want to reanimate a Arching Vessel. That's more than fine. We'll play out the Lochthwain now and get down the Scavenger. Hagra Mauling will always be a 4-mana card against mono-colored aggro decks, but yep, Mire's Grasp, that's fine. It doesn't get them any further into their deck, so not a huge deal. I'll play out a land, hold up Hagra Mauling. Actually, I should stop attacking with the Scorpion. They're just going to gain 1 life and put us lower and lower each time. So that attack was a mistake, but I don't think it's a huge deal. Second Vessel. And they're going to swing in for 1. It's all fine. I think I take a draw here. And we're flooding a little bit. Alright, Rankle. Let's go for the Rankle. Attack with both. Make our opponent discard. And make them sacrifice, I guess. Alright, the opponent takes both. So we can make him discard and sacrifice. We just the land. We already have enough of that. And the opponent needs cards. They only have 3 lands. So what's it gonna be? Castle coming in super clutch. As long as we empty out all this removal, then we'll be able to start drawing more cards. Alright, so the opponent does opt to discard their own Rankle. So what now? Bloodchief's Thirst? I think I just pass, because if they have a Call of the Death Dweller, I do want to Bloodchief's Thirst the Demon. Alright, another Mire's Grasp. A little bit annoying. And they just poke in for 1. Okay. Nice. So what now? I think I can keep taking 1. I don't think it's a huge deal. I'll hold up the Castle Draw and the Hagra Mauling. I want a better target for my removal spells than a 1/1 lifelinker. I'm more concerned about them reanimating it with a Call or a Luris off the top. Or maybe they have Luris in hand, they just need 1 more land. We do run 26 because of the Shades. Okay, they hit land 4, so is it Luris now? Sure. There's the Lurrus. Okay. So Lurrus will come down and probably make a 5/5. Yeah. And in response, we can take it out with Hagra Mauling. So yeah, like I said, they did have Lurrus in hand. They just needed the swamp off the top. And I mean, I guess that's fine. It helps us empty our hand. So we'll destroy. And we'll draw now. We have plenty of 2-mana plays in the deck and 1 Village Rites. Pretty bad draw at this position. It also clogs our hand a little bit. But I bet the opponent is jealous of our castle. Yeah, I could have drawn Agonizing Remorse, could have drawn the Acquisitions Expert. Alright, Dimir calls the dead. There are 2 Awakenings, which those seem pretty good right about now. Make a 2/2. Punch me in the face. Okay. Cling. Interesting. I think I cling to draw a card first. So let's cling the Mire's Grasp. Second Lockthwain. Okay. So whatever they target with the Timuret, we can cling. If they have a escape card of their own, we can cling that. Pretty good draw, all things considered. Can help us grind longer in this game. Oh, we don't actually get to target. Okay. Weird interaction. But if they have a Call of the Death Dweller or an Aghanim Awakening, then this can kind of cancel it out. So I'm looking for what? Woe Strider. Liliana isn't great right now because they have a board presence. Or just, yeah, I think Woe Strider is probably good enough. We're looking for creatures to get further into the deck. Opponent goes for 3. That's fine. We can always gain life with this. But we are going to need to start hitting more creatures. Interesting how my first game in the ranked queue was against Mono Black also. Alright, there's an Eidolon, so the opponent has no shortage of creatures. They have hit 4 lands, we've hit 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've hit, I think, 10 lands total. Interesting. Alright, let's take a Lockthwain draw. There's an Acquisitions Expert and a Woe Strider. Okay, so that kind of does pay off. Take out your last card. What's it going to be? Mire's Grasp. Good. Good, good, good. Now we can play out the Woe Strider and hold up the Village Rites for any sort of targeted removal. Having 1 more land to be able to cling would be really nice, but let's not be picky. Alright, they're going to scry and gain some life. They've already gotten pretty much max value from this Dimir Calls the Dead, aside from not really milling anything that great. And if this Woe Strider dies, we can start escaping it again, so that's pretty useful. We also have to watch out for our life total. I keep drawing off the castle. Yeah, okay, so we just Village Rites in response. They don't get to draw a card, and we get to pick up 2. Nice. So Lily takes out all of their creatures, or, well, you know, 1 of their creatures, but it has enough cards in the yard to be able to take any of them out individually. So does the opponent go for an attack? I mean, you're probably going to attack with the zombies. And they go for the Eidolon as well. Fair. So we'll take a chump here and we'll block the Eidolon. Life total is getting a little bit scary. Alright, we'll play out this land. Bloodchief's Thirst, the Eidolon. It's a form of card advantage. Now we have 8 mana, so we can hold up Cling and go for Liliana. So, but if I play Liliana minus on a zombie, I think that's fine. It'll go down to 1 minus X minus X. Yeah, so we take out a zombie. And if they want to take out the Liliana, they have to send them both at it. I block the Vessel, and I can hold up a Cling to Dust. Timoret calls the dead. Okay. Not a bad draw. That'll help him get more board presence. And Mogi's Favor. Okay. So we can exile that to draw a card. It's a escape card for them to play. But they can't do it immediately. And as you can see, our mana advantage is really catching up. Like, they might have had a bigger board presence, but we can just play so many more cards every turn. Alright, make another zombie. They can send both at Lily. Or they can just send the zombie and I'll chump block with the acquisitions expert. Let's do that. And we'll flash back the Cling, targeting their Mogi's Favor. Actually, I want to exile cards that aren't creatures in case I hit a Agadim's Awakening. So we'll take out their escape card, draw another card, and go from there. Okay. So we have 9 mana. We can go 5, 6, 7. It's not bad. Liliana plus. So, okay. Or I can just go for Ghost Rider plus Cling, which isn't horrible either. But I think I do want to play out the cards. So let's blow up a zombie. I'd rather have this on the field than in the graveyard. Play out Shade. Ooh, don't want to cast that with Kicker. Liliana plus, just burden the opponent for 3. And choose 4. 1, 2. Probably the expert. We don't want to really bring that back. And we'll go for the Scorpion as well. We have enough mana to revive everything in the yard, and I'd rather keep the Cling there too. Alright. So opponent will get another zombie, but I'm pretty sure it's about time they hit land. Well, there's a castle, there's an awakening. Those are lands they wanted to see. Lands that do stuff. Mogi's Favor. Sure. Takes out the Shade, but I'll get to Scry. Rankle. Sure. Rankle seems good enough. They can use the Mogi's Favor as a removal spell again. They just hit that one, so we'll see. We also do have to watch out for our life total. We're getting pretty low. We've taken a fair amount of bumps. Oh, okay, so they go for a Mogi's Favor on the zombie. Interesting. Making it a 4-1. Sends it at Lily. What else? Care to throw away a vessel? No. Okay. So I can trade with the Ghost Rider. I can chump with this. Or I could just let Lily die. Next turn I play Rankle. And actually, I think I do let this die. I think that's fine. No blocks. I think I'd rather hold up the blocker.
I was bored anyway.
So we take the Rankle. Let's say Rankle goes in, right? Rankle goes attack, sacrifice, they sack probably the 2/2. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I think I also want to take the draw. We can go sacrifice a creature, lose 1 life, draw a card. Swamp, okay. Sacrifice our goat. They'll either go for the 1/1 vessel or the 2/2 zombie. And I can trade with this and then flashback Cling at instant speed. And the opponent has seen enough. Okay, so we just have to focus on not dying for a minute there, but I'm pretty sure we can do that and just stabilize. Interesting mono black mirror match. Okay, playing for diamond, and this hand is really bad. So we take a mulligan. I think we keep, drop off a remorse, keep the 1 mana interaction, keep the potential reanimation spell, and yeah, pass the turn. Hold open Cling if they go for a passage, nothing. Okay, so drawing a bit of land. Let's go for the expert. Castle, always welcome. Always a welcome sight. So regret keeping this over the remorse because this looks like control. Could be rogues. Ooh, and they choose a drown. Okay, more than happy to give you a drown, or to take a drown. Play out land. Get in there. So I think we just keep pressuring them. They can counter this, and then they'll have 1 card in the yard. Juaris, okay, well, could have played around it, but the odds they had 2 weren't very high. Tome, frustrating. Scries with Tome. Alright, so our opponent is looking for land, whereas we have an abundance of land. So we can play Cling now, and I think that's the plan. If they have a Cling, then that's really bad, but I think we have so many playables at 2 and 3 mana that it's rewarded. And it is rewarded. Opponent really needs land. So we can take a Drown, but I don't think Drown is very good. I think we just take the 3 mana counterspell, since they're so far off casting the rest of their hand. And the Thirst can take out the Shark. Also, this is really funny. It plays around Drown completely. Alright, so keeping a land is also pretty slow. Okay. More land. We can Agadeems for 2, but that's not good enough just yet. So Liliana would have been ideal there. We just slam it in plus. But we just have to hold up castle draw for now and just leverage that. Alright, so opponent has the Great Shark available. Not good. But there's a Murderous Rider and a Scorpion. Alright, so we have some creatures. Let's attack, see if they want to bait out a Shark block. They opt not to, fair. And we'll play out a Scorpion. Opponent can drown this, opponent can shark this. Drowns my Scorpion? That's more than okay. I'm considering just playing the other side of this and going for a beatdown. So let's do that. They can draw off the Tome, but they're going to need removal now. Sure. Alright, so they have all their cards open. I think we just go for an attack. Liliana's a good draw. That would have been better a turn earlier, but it's fine. And now we can go for a 6 mana Awakening. And see if they Sublime Epiphany. Reanimate Scavenger and Scorpion. So Sublime Epiphany isn't amazing. They get to counter and draw a card for 6 mana. Yep. Oh, they also get to bounce one of my things, but... Oh, they return the tome. That's actually pretty smart. I respect that play. I was gonna say, if you return this, like... That's not great. And if you return this, it just hits another card. Okay, so... How much mana you have? Not that much. Play this out, go for an attack, and see if we can get Lily to stick. Opponent Heartless Axe. Okay. We're more than happy to see a Heartless Act. That is a-okay. Play out Liliana. Do you have the drown? Lily resolves. Okay, happy to drop this Bloodchief's Thirst. Alright, so now we're empty-handed with a castle. And we have a Liliana on the board. So this is kind of where I want to be. And opponent drops an Essence Scatter. Dope. I think the only Planeswalker removal they actually have in this deck is a kicked Bloodchief's Thirst. If I'm remembering correctly. Which I very well may not be. Alright, let's start with an attack, see if they want to ambush it with the shark. How many cards in my yard? 6? Let's try for a Woe Strider. They can Great Shark it, but that's okay. If they Great Shark it, I Liliana minus. If they let it resolve, I Liliana plus. And if they have a bounce effect, then I just recast Liliana. So, there's the Great Shark. Yep. That's fine. No problem. And then we go for the... yeah, 7 cards in grave. Liliana minus takes out the shark. I'm not really worried about them taking out Lily with damage. Okay. My turn. So I can start drawing with the Cling. I can start drawing with Castle. And the fact that the opponent bounced their own tome means that they don't get the life boost as early. Crawling Baron's great draw. Second Lily. That's kind of funny. Alright, we'll play with the Barons. And... so I can plus, but it's a little bit awkward. Let's go for an attack and see if anything happens. Happy to have this ambushed. I really don't mind. Opponent takes it. Alright, let's drop off the second Liliana. Just plus. Yep, opponent's drawing. They want to have full information. Drop off Castle. Alright, Castle isn't amazing, but it's not bad either. And I think I just hold up all my instant speed stuff like Cling, Crawling Barons, and Lochthwain. Planeswalker is really difficult for Dimir control to deal with. And there's a Great Shark. Okay. So we can actually chump with the Barons if we so choose. And that's not a bad plan per se. I think I'm going to go for it because this Liliana is giving them a hell of a lot of trouble. And I just ditched my second one. Eliminate. Okay. So, not the best sequencing. Let's start out with a Agonizing Remorse. We're not out of it yet, by any means. It didn't say please, but yep, go for it. Fill my yard for my escape creatures. Play Woe Strider. Target things that are not creatures. Actually, I'll keep Liliana. Just land. Yep, target non-creature things in case you draw an Aghanim's Awakening. So yeah, the only card that could have kept, well, that could have gotten rid of Liliana in that sequence was the Eliminate, because Heartless Act wouldn't have done it. Alright, so do we attack? I don't think I'm chump blocking, so let's go. And they have 2 cards in their tome. We have a grave full of escape cards and a castle. Acquisitions expert. All right. Let's see what's in that hand. Removal. That's fine. Not too fussed about removal. Care to draw? No? That would be really funny. And we will escape the Ghost Rider. Create a body just as big as the Great Shark. Same thing as last time. We don't want to exile creatures. 2, 3, 4. Submit. All the escape threats make us a pretty resilient deck, along with the flexible mana base that draws cards. So opponent can draw into a counter here, which would be awkward. Oh, and they do it. That hurts. Well, on the bright side, they fill my yard a bit more, so we have more escape fuel. And I think now I do take this chump block. I don't want to get too low. Alright, so the opponent's going to have access to 1 card. Alright. Feels good. So, 7 mana. I think I go for the Scavenger and hold up Cling this time. More mana efficient than just flashing back a Ghost Rider. And it means we can start racing the Shark. Yep. Okay. So kind of like 2 cards against 2 cards. They find their own barons. Okay. What's it going to be? If they don't attack, that's a mistake. Unless they have removal. Yeah, no blocks. We have a massive lifelinker. Go to Flashback Cling. On, I guess, Castle. Any non-creature spell's fine. I'm just trying to get some more cards. 1, 2, 3. Non-creature. Lily. And 1 more. What do we have 2 of? We have 2 acquisitions experts. Okay. I just want my Aghanim Awakening to hit something. If they want to counter this Cling, go for it. Land. That's fine. Oh, I shouldn't have exiled that. I should have exiled a creature. Oh, sorry, a instant or sorcery, because now we're gaining 1 less life. So, slight misplay. Alright, let's try to resolve this. And go for Scorpion. Oh, I should have done it pre-combat because of Rankle. 3 and another Scavenger. So, do you have a counter spell? Oh, so good. It's so good, guys. It's just the land. They should have played that. I mean, to be fair, the reason okay, let me just catch my words here. The reason I didn't do that pre-combat is because of the card in hand. I want to see if they were going to try to destroy this or anything. I really wanted the Aghanim's Awakening to resolve, because that's a pretty big comeback card. And as you can see, our careful exiling came in pretty handy. I also know this deck has 2 extinction events, meaning extinction event for odd kills half my board, but it also kills the Shark. Extinction event for even isn't as good. And yeah, Scavenger over a Ghost Rider because we can reanimate it once we get enough cards in the yard. And we still have 2 others in the deck. Oh, 1 other in the... No, yeah, 2 others in the deck. What am I saying? Have you had enough? Opponent's considering attacking. There's the Heartless Act on the Scavenger. Pump the Barons. So how do we want to do this? I think we just take this chump block. Yeah, happy to take that chump block, because we do have to block. And yeah, that's just lethal. GG. So we took out CGB Shark Attack deck with slight misplays, but hey, gets us diamond. Feels really good, guys. Alright guys, and we are back. So this is just a fun sort of mid-rangey take on Mono Black. It's not very aggressive, and it can be controlling at times, and as you guys saw in both matchups, it has a pretty excellent late game with all the escape cards and activated abilities on our lands, Lochthwain coming in super clutch this video, as you guys saw. So it's not that far off a typical mono black aggro deck, but we do run Liliana and we do have a bunch of fun discardy effects. So if you guys enjoy the deck, it will be in the description down below. And yeah, give it a try. It's a lot of fun. So that's it for today, everybody. I'll catch you in the next one, hopefully, and peace out.